What's up, guys? So I have officially sold $50,000 of Pokemon this year. That is through eBay, TCG Player, local sales, and my website. About 25 of that is actually through the website. Now, I also sold another 14,000 of my own personal collection. That is not included in that. So in reality, I'm probably like 65,000, maybe 70,000 area. Some of the best sellers are, Ascended Heroes, Perfect Order, yes, Perfect Order, Phantasmal Flames, and the Chinese gem pack boxes. Last year, I think I ended the year around like $15,000 or $18,000. So big improvement, as we're obviously only in August right now. Man, what a crazy learning experience this has been. I've seen multiple scams. I've met multiple people. Learning how to make thumbnails better, learning how to make videos better. I tend to see that my unscripted videos do better, like this one. Crazy stuff, learning all around, learning more things about my website, how to get packaging materials a little bit cheaper, trying to source stuff, talking to new people that way, and then just making a Discord group. I didn't realize how much work it was actually going to be, but I know sometimes I dread making content and editing content, and then, it'll get 30 views. And I'm like, well, this took me an hour and a half and 30 people saw it. Is this really worth it? Stuff like that. But, you get an order, you get 2 orders, you get 3 orders. I always assume it's because I made a YouTube video or a short or whatever it might be. And that's why I got a new order from, Joe Schmo in Utah or whatever. I guess at the end of the day, it really is worth it, even though, sometimes it doesn't seem like that. Sometimes you dread it. Like, just do it and it makes it worth it in the end. Super thankful to everybody who has supported me in the past and continue to support me. I mean, even our Discord group is approaching 120 members. And I started that earlier this year. I don't even remember when I started, to be honest, maybe February sometime. And I was like, man, this is gonna be rough. But we're already at, I don't know, 118 or something like that members. And there's a lot of new people in there that are keeping it alive and interacting and throwing new ideas around and helping out. So that's awesome. Thank you guys. We're up to 500 subscribers on YouTube. What? Halfway there to 1,000. I don't know what the watch hours are for monetization. And as everybody knows, starting next year, that is being doubled to 8,000 watch hours. So it's gonna be a long grind before we can ever get monetized. But, that's part of the process. In reality, does YouTube monetization make or break my business? No, it absolutely does not. Would it be nice? Yeah. Would it be nice to start doing those giveaways? Yeah. But, at the end of the day, as long as I can keep getting this trickle effect of new people coming to my website, new people placing orders, new people falling in love with how I operate, how I run business, how I do business, my prices, etc., like, it'll work out in the end. My Facebook, believe it or not, Facebook is my fastest growing social media. And I think it's just because of the Opus Clip Shorts. I feel like every time I post one, I'm getting like at least 2 to 5 followers. So we're over 200 now. And to think, I don't know, maybe like 3 months ago, I was like, man, is Facebook even worth it? There's nobody watching videos. There's nobody reacting or commenting. I think I was stuck at like 18 followers for months. And then out of the blue, maybe last month, I just finally started getting followers there. And now I'm actually getting followers. That is probably going to be the fastest monetization for me. And I literally thought about quitting it not that long ago. I was like, what's the point? I mean, I posted on X for a minute or two, and then I was like, nah, this isn't worth it. So I stopped doing that. So all I really post on is TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. I think those are the top 4. Those are really the easiest 4. A lot of people have said try X, Twitter, or whatever. It's just not for me. I don't really like it, and I never got any traction with it. Again, this is me saying don't quit, but I also quit. So, whatever. But just proof to keep sticking to it and keep doing what you know works, or just keep throwing everything at the wall and finding what works, and eventually something will work. Now, I'm not saying like, oh, this is the end all be all. This is like I'm a genius or anything. Clearly, 200 followers on Facebook is nothing. 500 subscribers on YouTube is nothing. But it's a stepping stone in the right direction. We've been at this for a year and a half, and this is how far we've come. Going into this, I knew literally nothing. It took me like a whole week to make my website, And then after that, there was so many different things that I had messed up, so many different things that I left off or things that didn't function. There was one time where my website literally didn't work. You couldn't add to cart, you couldn't click anything. I had no idea how to fix it. I don't even know what I did. There was another time where on mobile, you couldn't I literally didn't have a cart button on the mobile version of my website for a year. For a whole freaking year, I didn't have a cart button. That is how bad and how dumb I was at all of this. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm still not the most genius person with all this stuff. I make mistakes still. I tried to post a Surging Sparks ETV a bunch of months ago, and apparently before I went to do the SEO stuff, I saved it and it went live while I was trying to do the SEO stuff, and it sold for like $40 instead of $140 or whatever it actually was. And I was like, what the hell? Like, how did that happen? And then, I kind of realized, oh, that's how that happened. So just realizing stuff, playing around with things, figuring out what works. I used to have banners on all of my stuff with the release date. And some friends looked at that and they're like, this is confusing. What does that mean? Is that your stock? And I was like, no, that's the release date of the product. And they're like, yeah, I don't give a damn about that. Why would you do that? And I was like, okay, good point. Trial and error with buying collections, because when I first started, all I did was do Japanese. If you're an OG, you know that. And then slowly started moving into English stuff, started moving into my collection. I've tried sealed cases, which don't seem to do well. I've tried cases out of my collection, and they don't really do well, and I'm too worried about being scammed. I've tried Chinese stuff, which comes in waves, obviously. I think Japanese kind of does the same, but English stuff, and unfortunately I have to buy it from people secondhand every single time, but that's what's gotten me here. I mean, obviously most of my orders are English stuff, as I said at the start of the video. Ascended Heroes, Phantasmal, Perfect Order, stuff like that are my best sellers. We've gotten more orders this year than we did last year. Obviously, we've done more this year than we did last year. And our order price is right around $200 per order. That's great to see as well. Just so many new people have finally discovered us, whether they never order again, which I'm sure many of them won't. When I got Chinese, there was a lot of new people that were ordering. And unfortunately, I just never saw them order from me again. So, what is that? I don't really know. I don't know how they found me. There's no interaction. They didn't join the Discord. They didn't follow me and comment, nothing like that. So I don't know whatever happened to those people. I don't know how they found me or anything like that, but still, they have a business card now. Maybe they put it on their fridge. Maybe they threw it away and said I was an idiot. Who knows? But they know I exist, and that's all that really matters. That's what the whole point of this is. I've had somebody finally tell me, hey, I found you on TCG Player. So maybe selling some stuff on TCG Player actually does help bring traction, because he's one of my best customers. Shout out to you, Paul, if you watch this. Very appreciative of you. Thank you for supporting us and just allowing us to be your go-to guy, Thank you for allowing us to be your go-to business, your go-to store for Pokemon. I'm your Pokemon plug now, essentially, and stuff like that. So yeah, even selling bulk on a TCG Player, whether it gets me new customers to the website or not, I still think it helps. It's bringing money into my business. I am getting business cards out to these people. Obviously, they like Pokemon. Otherwise, they wouldn't be buying Pokemon bulk. It's literally the most useless thing out there unless you actually play the game or do master sets. So if people are buying Pokemon bulk, they clearly are into Pokemon, right? So giving them a business card cannot hurt me. It can only do better for me. Do I get an order out of it? I don't know. I have 400 some sales on TCG Player, and one person has told me they came from TCG Player. I don't know. That's pretty bad odds. Maybe more have, maybe they haven't. I've just haven't kept track, or they haven't told me that. So whatever it is, it is. If it's 1 in 400, so be it. Screw it. I got more than 400 bulk cards I can sell off in the next, 6 months that maybe I'll get another 2 or 3 customers out of the rest of the bulk. You know what I'm saying? So maybe TCG Player actually does help. I sold a little bit on eBay. I don't think anybody came from eBay either. eBay's more of just random stuff or retail arbitrage type of deal, which just, again, helps bring more money to the business so I can keep buying and churning stuff. I want to say I have something like $15,000, maybe $20,000 of inventory right now, which is by far way more than I started with. Again, I started off with a bunch of junk from my personal collection. I was like, yeah, nobody wants this stuff, and Japanese. And So basically I started off with maybe $1,000 of stuff, and to have $20,000 of inventory, still have money to buy more. Yeah, that's just absolutely insane. And again, sold $50,000 of business inventory and another 14 or so $1,000 of my own. Puts us right around 65 grand for the year. And we're in August. Now, going into this year, my goal was to sell 100 grand. I don't think we're going to get there unless somehow I can get like a shit ton of 30th anniversary and I can sell at a good price. I don't think that's going to realistically happen, but if it did, that'd be crazy. Then I could see us, getting that 100K. But, if we fall short, it is what it is. I set a lofty goal because again, last year I only sold 15,000. So to hit 100 grand, it's not quite a 10X. It's like what, an 8X or a 7X or something like that. And that's a pretty big growth in 1 year. Obviously, our first year wasn't really a failure, but low-key kind of a failure. Our second year, I'm calling this a success so far. And as long as we keep this up, the sky's the limit. Obviously, I'm way too small and still way too new for distro. And to be honest, I really wouldn't even want distro right now. They don't have anything that would really benefit me, and I can't benefit them because I don't have those deep pockets where I can spend, 30 grand a month of penny sleeves. Like, I can't do that. I need that 30 grand of actual product that I can actually make a profit on, so I can keep getting, so I can keep padding my coffers essentially, and then keep turning that into more and more and more. If I can take 30 grand and sell it for 40 grand, and then I can take 40 grand worth of stuff and sell it for 50 grand, well, I keep getting more stuff, I keep making more money, and I can just keep churning that and churning that and churning that. If I buy $30,000 of penny sleeves and I can only sell them for 25,000, well, now I'm screwed. You see what I'm saying? It's probably for the best that, distro's all locked up, they're all closed, I don't have a brick and mortar, none of that. I'm really hoping that sometime in 2027, once this new print facility comes up, that a lot of people get flushed. A lot of this stuff is around for close to MSRP. Hopefully my Poke plugs can give me a better price than they've been getting because, market will be a lot lower. Obviously they understand that I have to be able to make something off of it as well. And maybe I'll actually be able to get more of it. That's the big thing. More of it at a lower price, which means I can sell more to my customers. I can sell more to my followers, my Discord members, whatever may have you. By the way, if you're not in the Discord, join the Discord. We're running a small little, challenge, whatever, posting your top 3 Pokemon hits in the pools flexing, and then whoever gets the most fire emojis gets a coupon to the store. So if you're not in the Discord, jump in the Discord, send us your heaters. Yeah, let's see them. Everybody's got something cool to see. I like seeing what's in people's collections. My favorite card in mine is probably the Reds Pikachu, the Japanese promo with them running. I have that in a PSA 10. I don't know, it's like a $1,200 card or something like that. I paid maybe $110 or something like that. I could look at eBay, but yeah, crazy card. Only regret, you're gonna hear this quite a bit probably on this channel and many other channels. I wish I would have bought more. I wish I bought another one. Simply because it's a $1,200 card. It's one of my favorite cards. And now I don't want to sell it. So if I would have bought a second one, sure, it probably would have happened the same thing. I didn't want to sell it, but I probably would have sold that and I would have been like, okay, this card's free for me now. I made some money on the other one. Now I get to keep it forever because it's free. You know what I'm saying? And I really like doing stuff like that. I know the collector in me, I kind of got to shut him down quite a bit now that I have all my PC ETB promos. The only thing I'm really doing is trying to buy 2 of each PC ETB just for me to store and keep. But outside of that, I'm really not trying to keep anything else. Again, still working towards that house payment. We are touring houses and stuff, looking at stuff. I found one I really liked, but I couldn't afford it. But anyway, that's for next month's video and stuff like that. So again, $50,000 in sales, technically $65,000 if you want to be that technical. But a lot of lessons learned, a lot of things to improve on going forward. Again, YouTube videos, thumbnail creations, titles. I think social media is a large player of it. I think a lot of my videos really aren't that entertaining to watch. I think I'm more of a monotone person, and I just don't speak loud enough a lot of times. I've gotten a lot of comments where it's like, bro, I can hardly hear you. I'm like, dude, I'm turning up the volume when I'm editing as loud as possible, and it's just, yeah. So I'm trying to do better, being more entertaining with my videos. I don't put a bunch of pop-ups on. Normally it's usually just me talking, so you get to stare at my ugly mug or, shove my ugly mug in your pocket while you go for a walk or whatever, or while you're sitting on the toilet, That's everybody's favorite. Just stuff like that. So again, lots to learn still, a lot I have learned, and just keep improving every day, keep showing up with content, even though right now content is really, really boring. It is such a shitty time to be a Pokemon business or just overall Pokemon creator because there's nothing to talk about. There's no news, there's nothing really going on, you know, PSA scandals, I don't really talk about that. Bunch of drama with other creators, who cares? Like, that doesn't help me in the real world. It doesn't help me learn anything, and it gives me no real information. Like, I really don't care about these other content creators that are just talking about drama and stuff like that. Opossum Bud's kind of funny sometimes. I'll watch some of his stuff occasionally, but you know, I try not to throw myself into that. It's just not who I am. You know, I don't make witty comebacks. I don't think I'm that funny of a person. It just is what it is. I'd rather be, you know, straightforward. Here's the numbers, here's the facts, here's what's going on, here's what I'm doing, here's how I pivoted from this to that. So thanks for all the support, guys, and thank you for continuing to support me as we close out the last, 4 months of the year. So thank you for continuing to support my journey of trying to become a nationally known and recognized online Pokemon card store. If you're new to the channel, you know, smash that subscribe button, can help support us, help us grow in the future. And, you know, maybe at some point, if we go into a bear market, we'll get distro, we'll have some deeper pockets. Maybe we can branch into like Magic the Gathering, because I really do like Magic. I know you need a brick and mortar or a Play Store or whatever for that, but I do really, really enjoy Magic. And I like holding the sealed product, to be honest. And I know the customer base is completely different than the Pokemon customer base. It seems that Magic is a lot harder for me to offload unless I just sell it on TCG Player, which is just a pain in the ass. Anyway, smash that subscribe button, join the Discord, shop the website. I'll see y'all in the next video. This is Max Pax signing out.